Super
Viggo,
cool.
welcome. Thank you so much for coming and being on Conversations. It's so wonderful to meet you.
I was so happy when you invited me in January or something, because I love your conversations, and yeah, and I've done clown and I love clown, so really happy to nerd out about clown today.
Well, what does it mean for you personally in your career to have won? And also, what does it mean for the clown community?
I mean, for me, it means everything. It's been so nice, but for the clown community, I feel like it's been a really good thing, because one of the nicest things and people who really understand it is obviously other clowns. And under your post, I think I read some of the nicest things, but people like, oh, it's so beautiful, the timing, and like how you repeat one thing like an idiot clown would do. And that was what the best compliment I could get was like details about the performance, you know. I had a chat with another clown. Dr. Brown sent me a message, and he was like, oh, he appreciated that it was like a story between the three. If you put the three together, it's kind of a little story of struggle, goes into romantic in the end or something like that.
Absolutely. And so my question is, did you plan that out? Because it does build. I mean, it looks like you planned it. Or was it like, oh, what am I going to do for the next one? I better figure that out.
I went to the audition kind of as a joke, like I thought it would be funny if I get X'd out, this Norwegian guy on Britain's Got Talent comes with a vest. And then that's why I had the red vest under, because I thought when I get 4 X's, I'll reveal the red vest and be like, I knew it, I didn't think it would go this far, Barnaby. I had no idea. But I was asked by Britain's Got Talent, like, do you have a plan? So I kind of presented a plan, and obviously after the audition, people reacted so much to how like this Simon was, no?
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I was kind of trying to figure out, like, what is it that people resonate so much about this? Because I thought my act was really funny, but people really like the old traditional white-faced clown, the boss, and then the August, the red clown being a naughty, and it kind of became that, So that's why I continued with this story with Simon, So at that point, I was like, oh yeah, it would be funny if everyone get a vest except Simon. Revenge. And then if I get to the final, he'll get a vest too. I thought that was my idea for the little story, and I thought that was really stupid. It was 1 hour before the live show, I told the costume designer, like, hey, Simon uses glasses all the time, no? Like, can you get some glasses? And they just sent someone running to get glasses, and I just told the dancer in the wing, hey, can you give me these glasses? Because Simon Cowell, you've seen him always on the red carpet wearing aviators, and I thought he looked so cool. So I was like, imagine me and Simon wearing aviators together. It would be perfect circle. Then we're truly friends, no?
Yes.
But I agree with your analyzing. It was to see Simon's beautiful eyes.
And it was such a lovely moment. And presumably you didn't know if he was going to go along with that.
No, he was, as you could tell, he didn't get so quick. He didn't come so quickly with the needle. So absolutely he didn't know anything. But what a sport, and what a journey we've had. I think he is very intelligent and very funny, and has a good sense of what people like. So I'm happy he liked me.
To me, there was something about that journey that was also like symbolic of a bigger act of, helping people to enjoy clown, which tends to be misunderstood or put down in some way.
When me and Zach were in Australia, we were in we did Adelaide Fringe. We did our double act, Zach and Viggo, and we had a great show that everyone who saw the show loved it, which is how when I saw first the clown show, I was laughing so much, feeling so much joy, and like, as you know, Barnaby, it's the best thing in the world. I think it's the funniest thing and the most human and heartfelt thing. It has heart and funny together, and it's beautiful. But when we were out flying to get people into the show, it was like we got 5-star reviews and stuff, and then we were like, hey, do you want to see this clown show? And people are like, no. Ew, absolutely not. And even just saying, hey, do you want to see some physical comedy? And like, no, I can't think of anything worse than going to see physical comedy.
Right.
So I'm really happy you said that, because Simon also famously hates clowns, and no one told him I was a clown. And I think also he doesn't hate comedians. He likes comedians, but it's sometimes you need to understand to enjoy, and then sometimes you have to let go and let absurdity just wash over you. And I think I'm one of those acts when you need to you're like, what is this? And then you just realize life itself is ridiculous, and you start laughing.
Who were your first inspirations in the world of clowning and comedy?
I basically studied economics, and then I started a stand-up club because I thought I loved comedy and stuff. We decided in Norway, oh, we need to go to Edinburgh. That's where the best comedians are. We need to see the best comedians to learn. And then there was this like Norwegian comedians, Martin Beyer-Olsen and Lars Berrum. They were like, oh, you need to see this guy, Dr. Brown. It's like this mystical clown from the States. He has a show where he doesn't talk at all. And my God, it's the funniest thing I've seen in my life. I was just laughing from my belly, just like, you know. I was obsessed after I saw that show. I was like, I could not believe it, how
Yeah.
joyous that was. And then after I found out where have this Phil Berger's Dr. Brown, where have he studied and who is this guy? So I took a clown workshop with him. I cried a lot because I wanted to be funny, you know? And I was trying to be stand-up, not really bad stand-up. And it was a clowning in nature. It was in Wales, and it was hard. I didn't understand anything about clown or anything. And then I remember it was like on the third or fourth day, I didn't understand anything. And then I was on stage for 20 minutes, 11 p.m. at night, you know, so everyone's tired. I was just on stage trying to be funny, and he was just sat like this, like kind of looking disapproving at me, and the audience were also like, oh my God, this guy from Norway, so pushy, wants to be funny, like, oh, you know. And then I felt tears just, yeah, like behind my eyes, you know. And that moment I remember it so vividly, because I remember like I'm strong, and and then that night, me and another Brazilian, he was like, I was 23 or something, and he was 55 years old. We sat on this field in Wales, just 3 a.m. at night, just both of us sobbing, feeling so sorry for ourselves, just like, oh my God. And he had a career of like 40 years of being a brilliant clown in Brazil, traveling around to schools, inspiring people. And we were crying and crying. And then the next day I wanted to go home, but I was stuck in Wales, you know. I couldn't leave because I was on the farm. So I showed up, and they were like, okay, you're the last one. Okay, I guess I'll go. But I did not care anymore. So I was just like, I took a sock and made a mustache. I'm like, is this funny, kind of? And then people started laughing because I was so open. Like, they knew I had a tough time before, and they could see that I was kind of defeated and deflated. And suddenly people start to like me a bit on stage, and then the laughter comes after they like, you know. And then something happens. So that's when I was like, oh, this is possible for me.
So you went to work with Philippe then? You went to Philippe's workshop, Philippe Gollier?
He was some 70 years old when I got there. And I went for summer school to be like, okay, I'll go there, just do clown. Great. And then I'll be a great comedian. And then, yeah, you probably have heard about Gollier. He can be pretty vicious.
I can imagine what comes next, right?
Da, da, da. But I thought it was so much fun, though, to be in a theater school, because I came from like studying economics and just trying to be a comedian. So I was like, whoa, you're just playing all day. It's just kind of, since I worked for a year and kind of went out of the, I was kind of miserable also. So I was like, made a choice to be like, now I'm going to do stuff that makes me happy. So I'm going to pursue this thing. And theater school is, yeah, it freed me up. It really freed me up. I thought I will never, ever do anything I don't like the rest of my life, because it's possible to do what you like, even with little money. And if your circumstances are difficult, you can still have fun, even if you have to shove shit behind the circus, you know, shove the elephant shit. Like, you can have fun throwing that shit at your friend, you know, like make a little castle. It's possible. So it just freed me up, and I had so much fun. So I decided like I need to spend more time with Philippe because he is the funniest guy I ever met.
How important do you think it is to be able to read your audience as a clown?
Yeah, yeah, good question. I mean, I'm from a tradition. I guess Philippe and stuff is that is very important, but that doesn't mean it has to be audience interaction or you have to look at the audience all the time, because you could have clowns who was like, "Hey, you like this, you like this, you like this." But I think to have the subtle listening, almost like you said, they can fumble around with the bottle and still listen. And listening also means, you know, in hospital clown they call you have to have your antennas really far out.
Yeah.
Means like not just listening but looking who's in the room, what's here, what's the atmosphere, are they sad about, are they happy, what, like everything, you're almost how you feel, how they feel. So uh, if we can call that listening, then even though I think it's more than just the air, you know, it's like feeling the audience almost.
What are you doing right now in terms of that sort of listening to? Do you have a clear plan ahead of where you want to go with your career, or are you sort of in a bit of a figuring it out?
That's an excellent question, and thank you for asking that, because I should think about that. So
Okay, we can figure it out right now if you like. I can give you some
yeah, let's
coaching.
figure it out right now. I'm definitely listening because in a way I want to continue with exactly what I did before, doing shows and teaching a couple of times a year, because I enjoyed massively to do shows everywhere and then go to Philippe and teach there, or like teach my own workshop or something like that. If it's, but I don't want to be just a teacher. But I think it's cool when performers are teachers. I learn a lot, and
Yeah.
they get someone who perform. But so I definitely want to continue that. That's number one. Was a clown before, still want to be a clown. But you are speaking to me. This is live, but it also will be on YouTube. Like, just to be clear, like this is the Friday, isn't it? And then it's Friday today, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And on Sunday, like what, 5 days ago, I won Britain's Got Talent. Like it hasn't completely sunk into my head yet. Uh, so
Sure.
what am I doing? I think one thing I have done is that I've booked some really stupid shows to make me happy. Because my email is like 850 100 emails, like awesome offers from everywhere and every agent and manager. But like right now, I went to the Lofoten, you know Lofoten, northern Norway, like the most beautiful part of Norway. My grandmother is from northern Norway, and I live in England, and I've never been. I've been there once as a kid. So there was a stand-up festival who asked me if I wanted to come for 300 euro, and
Yeah.
and I asked Julia, who's also a brilliant clown with like, yeah, amazing clown shows and a whole career for her own. And I asked her, hey, do you want to go to Lofoten, like the beautiful place? Like we get 300 euros, and it was so completely stupid to do that now, because like it's I'm wasting time and money. But we will do that, and I'm really happy about that decision. And that I felt like, okay, in that moment I didn't lose myself. So I want to continue to do shows and hopefully make more people happy, and do big shows and tour and do live performance. That's what I really love. So
you mentioned like these 800 emails. So are people just like offering you all kinds of crazy stuff, and you're like, no, I don't want to do that? Or is it like cool stuff that you really want to do?
I'm not saying no. I'm just like, I'm a bit overwhelmed right now, and I'm like, yeah, there's a vest factories and high vis factories who are like, we should do something there. I'm like, yeah, that's hilarious. That definitely, let's do something. And I mean, I haven't bought clothes in 6 years. I got this from Britain's Got Talent. They sold this for me, and I love it. So of course I would love to do a gig and make some money and buy new pants, you know. And a vest factory, that would be amazing. Who creates high vis, and I get to go there and see how they make high vis, and maybe do some them, and then also do a show around the UK is a dream. You know, I want to go to great places like Liverpool and I mean Glasgow and Hull. I want to go to Hull.
Hull's awesome. Yeah,
because I need time to play and see what I can do on a bigger stage. Maybe I'm happy I got experience from Britain's Got Talent, because that was a huge audience, and I'm like, oh my god, clown works in a way. We knew that, like, there's great clowns, like Little Titch, you know, this guy with the long shoes. He was like one of the biggest cabaret acts in Europe. He was the top paid big venue guy, you know. So clowns have been there before, and maybe I could be there. I don't know. I'm happy either way. Thank you so much, Barnaby. It was so nice, and talking about clown makes me so happy. And I feel like everyone in the clown community know how every clown around the world, we share this same passion to just spread the happiness, really. And yeah, thank you for having me. Really an honor, and super grateful to talk about clown, because that's one of my favorite things to talk about.
Yeah. Well, it's a great achievement, Viggo, and just thank you. You know, even before the Britain's Got Talent thing, thank you for your work and for your commitment to clowning. And long may it continue. And I'll see you again very soon.
And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and see you soon. And keep doing stupid things and showing it to everyone with vulnerability.
Yes, exactly. All right, bye for now, Viggo.
Hello everybody! Now, Mr. King and I are trying to grow this channel. We're trying to get the marvellous art of clowning to as many people as we can around the world. And there's so many ways that you can join in. You can hit the subscribe button below this video. You could give us a thumbs up. It really helps to boost the channel. Or you could get into the chat and tell us your thoughts, your questions about clowning. Or better still, you can check out our amazing Patreon site and find all the cool bonuses that you get if you become a Clownversation supporter. So many ways for us to get the clown out. Back to you in the studio, Mr. King.